Tips for driving at night. Wintertime brings various driving challenges, from wet, rainy conditions to wind, ice, and snow. One factor you might not think about, though, is the length of the nights. The shorter days of winter mean there are more hours of darkness, and that translates to more driving time in the dark. Help ensure that you're traveling safely on winter's darker roads by following these safety tips for night driving. This can decrease your chance of having an accident when you drive. Improving your vision when you drive. Our pupils dilate in the dark, and our eyesight tends to detect lights and movement rather than the color and sharp details that we recognize during the day. Consequently, our depth perception is not as keen at night, and our eyes may be more prone to become dry or tired because we tend to concentrate more and blink less. With these physiological factors in mind, there are a few things you can do to make nighttime treks less treacherous. Eye doctors typically recommend scanning the road and keeping your eyes moving instead of concentrating all your vision on one area. It's also important to understand what you're seeing. For example, if you're traveling through a rural area that's packed with deer, raccoons, and other wildlife, two small, bright dots may be animal eyes in the distance ahead. Avoid hitting an animal by looking for reflections of your headlights in its eyes, which should be visible well before you can see the entire animal. Inspect the lights on the vehicle. At night, the lights around you can work against you just as much as they work for you. Make sure that your headlights are aimed properly, since poorly aligned headlights can negatively impact your visibility and blind other drivers around you. Driving at dusk also poses greater risks than you might expect, since your eyes have to continually adjust as night falls. If the lights on your dashboard are on their brightest setting, it may take a toll on your forward visibility. Dim your interior lights so that they're visible but not distracting. That way, it'll be easier for your eyes to adjust to the lights on the road ahead. By the same token, avoid staring at headlights from oncoming traffic and other bright lights out on the road. It's easy to get distracted by the high beams of a tall truck or the glare coming off of an illuminated billboard. If you're blinded by oncoming traffic, look toward the right edge of the road and steer along its path until you can see clearly again. Pay attention to the road and those around you. Make sure to stay as alert as possible when you drive. Stop to stretch your legs and get food if you're on a long trip. And if you're tired, make sure you get some rest before heading back out on the road. It can be hard to judge how fast a car is traveling or how far away it is at night, so slow down and make sure that you're following other vehicles at a safe distance. Be mindful of other drivers and switch to your low beams if there's oncoming traffic or if you're following another vehicle.